This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm coming back at you with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about the passport bros, and I want to be open and honest with you. And the topic and the title of this video is going to be Getting Your Passport is Only the First Step. Now, we understand that the majority of us who consider ourselves passport bros have gone through what is called red pill rage. What the manosphere usually say is red pill rage. And we see the responses to the women, to the people that are against the passport bros. And what I like to coin the term of it is blue book rage. And they have an issue with us with exercising our freedoms and our rights. And we know that it's a lot against us, but we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing to allow this type of attacks to be placed on us, even when we're not doing anything to hurt or harm anybody? And one thing that I understand that we have to do is we have to constantly work on ourselves. And it doesn't matter if you're considered a high value person in this society, or if you're considered average, or if you barely scraping above being below average. It's always room for improvement. And it's a lot of guys out here that they get their passports and they show them off, but they don't have money to go anywhere. And then on top of that, they not even trying to save up money to go anywhere. The only thing that they use these passports for is to floss in the front and to act like they don't really want the women that's here, but they not putting any action into what it is that they're saying. The only thing they doing is just showing off their passports. Where have you gone? Where have you been? I just got my passport earlier this year, and I've been one place so far, and I plan on going somewhere else next year. And if you don't believe that I've been anywhere, you can check my IG page. It's just Bob Bowman, just the way that it is on YouTube, the same name. And I'm still exploring. I'm still going to go different places. Yeah, I'm going back to the DR when I leave out. But after that trip, I plan on visiting different countries. And that's something that I want to do. And on top of that, I'm not trying to impress anybody. So I am going to be stacking up and saving up my money for the next trip. Like, hopefully I do 2 trips next year. That's what I really want to do, is to do 2. But if I do one and then have to wait until the following year to do it, I'm willing to do that, as long as I have the money and the dedication and the discipline to do what it is that I need to do. And that's what I'm doing. And this is part of me improving myself. And I know that it's a lot of guys out here that's talking about getting passports and trying to find better women or whatever. But what are you doing to improve yourself in the meantime? And what I mean by that is, are you working on your finances? Hmm? Or are you still splurging your money on things that you don't need to impress people that don't like you? That's a serious question that I'm asking. Like, do you have the discipline to be able to travel and go different places? You might not be able to go every place that you want when you want, but at least have enough discipline to start saving up money so you can travel. Are you really doing that? Or are you just pretending that you're going to start traveling? That's something that you have to ask for yourself. This isn't me trying to bash anybody. So don't make this oh, he's trying to make us look bad, or he's trying to pile on the so-called other passport bros. Because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just giving you something to think about. think about what it is that you're trying to do for yourself. Now, I go to the gym, and I'm not going to use my disability as an excuse to why I'm overweight, but I am overweight. But I'm not morbidly obese. And I am working on improving myself. As a matter of fact, I had a nice salad for lunch and dinner after I worked out today. But if you're going to these other places, and this is people, and I'm not trying to bash anybody that have any serious health conditions. Like, most people outside of this country will be understanding if you have some health conditions. But if you're able to walk around and you're able body, but you look like a biscuit body, you shouldn't expect for anybody to take you serious. Even the women overseas, don't expect them to take you serious if you coming over there looking sloppy like a bucket of cottage cheese, trying to holler at the real nice looking women. They gonna look at you like, ugh, just how they look at you here. What about getting a haircut? You need to get a haircut at least twice a month. Well, once every 2 weeks, you need a haircut. You need to make yourself look somewhat presentable. And on top of that, you have a lot of guys out here that still using soap, body wash from Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, not understanding that that's not good soap to use for their bodies. And they still walking around here smelling and stinking because they not using the type of soap that'll have them smelling good and having their skin refreshed. And you need to start learning about the different soaps out here and what's good for you, because I know a couple of years ago I didn't even know that a lot of soaps was made out of pig skin, and I had to get away from a lot of soap, and that's popular with a lot of chemicals in it, with a lot of pig skin in it, and get to the natural soaps like Castile soap that uses coconut oil and other type of oils to make it. You see, you have to start learning how to take care of yourself properly, and hygiene is very important. Like I said, I even changed my deodorant because I realized that the deodorant that I was using prior, and I was using deodorant that had aluminum in it, and I used to get these little cysts underneath my armpits. And it's because that deodorant wasn't good for me. I needed to start using deodorant that was more natural, that didn't use aluminum in it, that it'll last for a while, but then my skin will still be able to sweat correctly. And it still wouldn't be stinking because the deodorant smell good. You see, you have a lot of men that don't know about that. You have a lot of men that don't know about keeping their face trimmed, or making sure they blow their nose every once in a while. Or even Kevin Samuels, he talked about like men properly washing their behinds and making sure they get inside of the butthole. And that's not trying to be graphic or anything like that, but that's just being honest, because it's a lot of men that don't know how to wipe themselves properly or wash themselves properly. That's just another factor, and that's a very important factor: hygiene. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting some skincare about yourself. If you know that you breaking out in different pimples and cysts and things like that, buy some skincare to take care of the issue instead of just having that issue and not doing anything about it. Hit the gym. You don't have to have the perfect body, and nobody is saying that you have to have the perfect body, but you need to hit the gym. Not for these women, but for you. You need to have your strength up. You need to have your cardiovascular system up so you can do the things that you want to do, and you can enjoy the nightlife the way that you want to. And then on top of that, what about the clothing that you are wearing? Yeah. You see, when I was younger, and this was something that I learned that was out of my control. And what I learned is that what I did learn back then was that, oh, you need to buy like the most affordable clothes and try to save money, but not understanding that the cheaper the clothes that you buy, the sooner it wears out or it doesn't look good or it gets dirty and you can't get it back clean the way that it was. So you need to stop being cheap on the wardrobe that it is that you're buying. And on top of that, you need to start looking at your budget and start budgeting money for your clothing. And if you can only afford one pair of jeans a month, buy a pair of jeans each month. And then once you get a good amount of jeans in your collection, then you can worry about shirts. And then once you get a good amount of shirts in your collection, you can worry about shoes, socks. Don't be buying no cheap socks either. Get some decent socks that's going to last for a while. Underwear that's going to last for a while. Baseball hats. Yeah, I wear this Cubs hat all the time on here, but I have more than just this. And this is the one that I choose to wear when I get on YouTube because that's what I want to do. But if I wanted to wear another type of hat, I could. Jackets. I have more than one pair, like more than one jacket. Coats. I have more than one coat. Suits. I have more than one suit. Ties, accessories. And then on top of that, cologne. What type of colognes are you wearing? How much of the colognes are you using? Are you using too much cologne when you put it on? Are you using too little cologne when you're putting it on? That's something that you have to figure out for yourself and what makes you feel comfortable. It ain't about what everybody else saying. It's about what makes you feel comfortable within yourself. You see, are you working on stacking up your money? And I'm not talking about putting the bare minimum in it. I'm talking about putting enough money in it to where sometimes you have to just stay in the house and not party. Sometimes you just got to sit at home and learn how to watch Netflix by yourself once in a while. I'm talking about saving money to the sometimes to where the only thing that you could do is walk out in the park. Even though you know you have that money, you're not touching it because you know that it's something else that you want to do later on. That's called discipline. A lot of you guys out here, you talking about getting your passport, so you talking about going different places, but you don't have the discipline to improve yourself to where if you were to go somewhere else, and that's if you had the discipline to save up the money that you have, but you don't have enough discipline in yourself to where if you go to those destinations, you won't turn off the women so bad. Yeah, I'm going there. It's because this is something that a lot of average or below average men need to understand and learn. And this isn't me beating up on you. This is me being honest with you because I had to go through the transformation myself. I had to stop using the Family Dollar and the Dollar Tree soaps myself because it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for my pH balance. You understand what I'm saying? Are you eating enough fruits and vegetables? Are you drinking enough water? Are you going outside enough? Even if you don't want to talk to the women here, so be it. Still socialize every once in a while. Are you doing any type of socializing so you can be okay with being around other people instead of feeling weird and awkward when you get around other people? Are you doing that? Are you staying away from the people that always put you down? Are you not letting people take advantage of you? See, this whole thing about self improvement is way beyond just getting a passport. It's way beyond that. And see, I know that I started this self improvement journey back in 2020 when my life almost crumbled before my eyes. You see, and when I started this self improvement journey, I knew that I had to get myself out of debt. A lot of you haven't done that. I knew that I had to figure out what it is that I had to do to improve my hygiene or improve my physicality. A lot of y'all not doing that, or you want to do it, but you're not being consistent with it. You're not showing any discipline. I knew I had to start saving money. I knew that I had to make some sacrifices and do things that I didn't want to do in order to be in a better position later on. I made those sacrifices. I'm still working on getting to where it is that I need to be, but I see the payoff happening right now. And this is just a year later, a year after making the sacrifices that I needed to make. I cut off people who was being leeches to me. I allowed certain people to leave my life that didn't want to be around me. I allowed myself to ignore those that wanted to ignore me. And I see myself improving. And I see that in myself, that even when nobody is watching, even when I feel invisible, even when I feel like I'm in a dark place, I am growing. It's like that seed that's in the middle of the pot, in the middle of the dirt, in that pot that's growing, but nobody can see it just yet. And that's where I'm at in life. And I'm okay with that as long as I see progress happening. So I wanted to just let you know that just getting your passport is only the beginning. You have a lot of work to do to improve your life and your situation. And if you're not willing to do it, you're wasting your time getting that passport, because it's way beyond that. It's way beyond the passport. It's about changing your mentality. It's about you allowing yourself to be your best version, not allowing people to use you and misuse you. Because if you go overseas and you still haven't fixed yourself, you're going to be used. You go overseas and you still carrying that anger and that hurt, people are going to pick up on that and they're going to use you. Now, I explained in one of my earliest videos that even when I was on vacation, I took time to see a counselor and I got some counseling. In the middle of my vacation, I got some counseling. I'm going to repeat that one more time. In the middle of my vacation, I went to counseling. Yes, I went to counseling in the middle of my vacation. And the reason being is because I needed it. Even though I was in a better environment then than where I'm at now, I needed some counseling to help me with processing the whole reason of why I was doing everything that I was doing. And I explained that in the video. Working on yourself is something that's constant. You see, I'm an average man and I'm working on becoming a high value man. But even when I become a high value man, I know that I got to keep working in order to stay a high value man and to even be higher than a high value man, to be in that rare top 1%. And that's the truth. And that's facts. Some people jump to that portion of society because they just had natural skills and talent. Some of us got to work extra hard to get there. But if you have to work extra hard to get there, just do it. You know, God doesn't make any mistakes, and you're going to have so much knowledge along the way that you have learned. When you get to that top position, you're going to cherish it to the point to where you're not going to let anybody, not even a very beautiful woman, take you away from that position. And that's what this is all about. It's all about building yourself up. It's all about not letting yourself be taken advantage of. It's all about taking care of yourself the way that you need to take care of yourself so you feel good about yourself, regardless if you have 50 women flocking on you or you had nobody paying you any attention. This is just Bob Bowman. Peace.